hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some frickin' money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. We've made it to Friday. It's time for Pocket with Jo over here on SportsGrid TV on X. We have a light slate out there on the ice. And like I say, Fridays are always kind of a freaky Friday out there on the ice. You never know what's going to happen with some of these dogs really is stepping up and getting things done. But let's jump into the slate today. Hopefully you guys combined a couple of those player props yesterday for those points coming in and cashing nicely. We saw Nazem Kadri really step up again at home. Jonathan Huberdeau was able to get a goal as well. So if you took both of them for the point, you definitely cashed some money. If you took them both for the goal, you were laughing last night, especially if you put that into a parlay. We saw Leon Draisaitl also coming out so strong for the Edmonton Oilers, as the Edmonton Oilers got that payback factor versus the Vancouver Canucks. So great games out there yesterday on the ice. We are hearing Anthony Richards of the Islanders will be okay after what we saw. The Flyers will be okay, taking that skate to the face yesterday, but there was no blood drawn. So thankfully he's going to be okay out there. But let's jump into these four games today. The Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Dallas Stars. Now, they're off a win last night versus the St. Louis Blues, so another team that did get that revenge. St. Louis had beat them in the game prior. In overtime, Jack Eichel had missed that goal. Now, Jack Eichel wasn't able to get the goal last night. We did see Mark Stone come out nice and strong in that matchup, and now they have to face the Dallas Stars. Dallas has been very strong defensively and in net. Their offense has been clicking, and we've got a total of 5.5. Minus 130 to the over 5.5 and plus 106 to the under. We do have the Vegas Golden Knights rolling in as a dog, and how tempting is that? Getting the Vegas Golden Knights at plus 120. I don't care if this team's on a second night of a back-to-back. That does not come into the equation for me when Vegas is facing the Dallas Stars. I do think we get that step up out of them, especially when, yes, they got the win last night. They got revenge, but they didn't win their game prior. So they need to continue to hold the first place in the Pacific here. They need to get these wins. So minus 144 for the Dallas Stars. They just can't find value in that. Now, there's no value on the puck line, but we have seen Vegas be able to cover that puck line the last 12 in Dallas. I would love to see the live betting opportunity in this one where Dallas went up in the first period and we could come back in on the Vegas Golden Knights plus a 1.5 with some good value there. I just don't know if we'll see it. I'm looking for Vegas to continue to roll hot in this one. They've got a hard schedule ahead of them. Sunday, they will face the Florida Panthers at home, and then the Stars will come into Vegas. So they will be in Vegas on Tuesday. So these teams play each other again. We have Dallas on the first night of back-to-back. They'll play the St. Louis Blues tomorrow, and then at Vegas, of course, on Tuesday. So Vegas has been strong defensively. They've also been strong offensively. Both these teams will come out nice and strong. Now, it's just a matter of who can pull this off. So the last game we saw between these two, Vegas did get the 3-2 win. They've covered the puck line as a road underdog in the last 12 versus the Dallas Stars. They're also 5-2 in the last 7 meetings in Dallas. We've seen the underdog win 9 of the last 13. I think the value is on Vegas in this one. I will jump on Vegas. These teams trend to lower scoring games as goaltenders bounce back. And one thing we have seen the Dallas Stars off a loss be able to bounce back strong at home. So they're off the loss to Carolina Hurricanes, 2-1 at home on Tuesday. In that situation, they've been able to win their last 4 as a favorite off of that loss. So they're a strong bounce back team. I just think Vegas with the value, that is where I have to go. Now, will this be a live betting situation? Maybe if Vegas goes up by 2 goals. Absolutely. I think this is a game where you see it finish a 1-goal game between these two. Should we bet overtime? Yeah, I think an overtime bet is in play in this one, even though Vegas is on that second night of a back-to-back. The overtime coming in at plus 300. So I do think that is a way to look. Looking at the overtime, I'm going to grab the plus money on the Vegas Golden Knights. Thomas Hertl has been nice and strong for the Vegas Golden Knights as of late. He scored, actually, you guys, in the last 4 games. So versus St. Louis in 2 of those, and then the other 2 opponents. So I love what we've seen out of Thomas Hertl. When we look here at the Dallas Stars, Jamie Benn, I do think is a strong player to get those points. So we talked about Nazem Kadri yesterday, how strong he is at home. He'd been held off the scoreboard out on the road for the Calgary Flames. Jamie Benn is a similar player. He actually has a better numbers at home than Nazem Kadri, and we saw Nazem Kadri get on the scoreboard last night. So looking at Jamie Benn here for the Dallas Stars, I think is a strong way. He's able to put a point up in 68% of his games at home this season, and he's been held completely off the board in the last 5 games. So while I don't like to say a player is due, if any player is due, it's Jamie Benn out there. So I do think he comes out strong. Thomas Hertl to continue rolling hot. I do think Jack Eichel lights the lamp tonight, so I like Jack Eichel more so than Thomas Hertl, but I think Thomas Hertl can roll hot. And then Jamie Benn for the anytime goal here for the Dallas Stars, I think is a great way to go. Okay, let's move into the next game, you guys. We have the Philadelphia Flyers taking on the New York Islanders. Now, the Flyers are a plus 126 underdog on the road, minus 152 here for the New York Islanders, total 5.5. The 5.5 actually juiced to the over, which I kind of find an issue with. I clearly think this is going to be an under game. We're getting under 5.5 at plus 100. You have the Flyers off a 1-goal game yesterday. So hopefully you guys bet the under 2.5 versus the Rangers for the Flyers team total yesterday, because that did come in cashing nicely. Now, their head coach was fuming after that game. And I do think here you've got Sorokin in net for the Isles, that you see the Flyers, again, continue to struggle. Sorokin has been rolling hot. Remember, Sorokin did roll into Vegas and get that shutout win. So looking at a team like the Philadelphia Flyers, as long as he stands tall between the pipes tonight, he has every ability. Now, it's a really hard pill for me to swallow. You guys know that, to back the Islanders with one of the worst special teams units in the whole league. They can't convert on the power play. They can't kill a penalty, and the Flyers could come out nice and strong and be able to convert on those power plays against such a weak defense here. So minus 152 for the New York Islanders, I don't want to touch, but plus 126 for the Flyers, it's just not something I want to do either. Fedorov is expected in goal, and then Sorokin here for the Isles. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to look again at some totals. I'm going to take this game for the first period under 1.5 goals. It's coming in at minus 118, so we have to lay the juice. The last time these teams matched up was just under 10 days ago. On the 16th, we got a 5-3 win out of the Flyers in that one. So you're going to see the defense and Sorokin better at home in this matchup. They know they cannot allow the Flyers to put up that many goals. I would look at the Flyers team total. The problem is you're going to have to lay more juice than I was comfortable with looking at that under 2.5. I do think another way you could look is the Isles first period. We've seen the Flyers really struggle as a dog in that first period, losing their last 5 first periods. So I think they struggle to find the back of the net. The Isles could put up 1 goal. So that's why I'm going to go with the under 1.5 in the first period at minus 118. I do think this game stays under the total of 5.5 as well. Which do I like better? Probably the 5.5, because we're getting that at plus 100. So the under 5.5, and then I'd look at the first period under 1.5 at minus 118. Second night of a back-to-back here. Again, the Flyers lost last night to the Rangers. They allowed 6 goals. And then we are seeing the Isles winning their last 2 games. They were able to get the win Monday. So they've had, some time off here, rest versus rust. We'll see how they come out. But they were 3-1. Yeah, they won that one 3-1 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. So they have had some nice wins. First night of back-to-back, the Carolina Hurricanes on deck tomorrow. Now, this is a battle of the Metro. The Islanders sitting 8th in the Metro. They're not going to look ahead to a stronger opponent in the Metro. They need every single win that they can get. 6th in the Metro here for the Flyers. So I give the Isles the best chance of winning tonight versus the Flyers, but I think it's going to be a lower scoring battle, and that's where I want to put my money. When we look at the next game here, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning One of the bigger favorites of the day, rolling in at minus 245 on the money line. Minus 1.5 on the puck lines, plus 102. And the Chicago Blackhawks, plus 1.5 on the puck line at minus 124. And on that money line at plus 198. Now we know some of these underdogs have been barking. One that wasn't barking yesterday was Montreal, breaking that streak of being able to pull off those wins as a dog. I believe it was the last 7 before last night's game. But can Chicago pull off the win here at home versus the Tampa Bay Lightning? Well, to be able to do so, Peter Mrazek is going to have to play so much stronger than we have seen him this season. Peter Mrazek has been having those struggles. He's got a save percentage well below 900. This one has a total of 6.5. It's minus 115 to the over. I do think this one has every opportunity of going over that total as long as we see these playmakers of Chicago that have been stepping up, especially Tyler Bertuzzi, to come to play tonight. If they can come to play, we absolutely can go over the total 6.5, minus 115 to the over. The issue is here, what are we going to get out of Chicago in this one? So Peter Mrazek, he's got a 896 save percentage. He's gone 916-2 on the season. Andre Vasilevsky will come in on the other side. Chicago takes way too many penalties for my liking, you guys, giving up too many chances, but they do have a strong kill. We've got an outstanding power play, 6th best power play in the league here for the Tampa Bay Lightning, 26.7% of the time able to convert. This team has lost their last 2, so they're going to be eager to break this losing streak. Their last loss was to the Montreal Canadiens, 3-2. Looking at Chicago, they are off a loss to the Carolina Hurricanes, so they fought hard with the Carolina Hurricanes, taking them to overtime. They lost that one 4-3. That was on Monday at home. Looking at the Chicago Blackhawks schedule, it is a brutal schedule ahead of them. They have the Wild at home on Sunday. Then they head out on the road on Tuesday to face the Tampa Bay Lightning again. Thursday versus the Carolina Hurricanes again. Saturday versus the Florida Panthers. And Wednesday versus the Edmonton Oilers. You look ahead at those 5 games, and it's absolutely brutal. You include this one, 6 brutal games. Include the last one versus Carolina. That's 7 games that, facing top opponents out there. So Chicago has their hands full. And we look here at the Tampa Bay Lightning. First night of a back-to-back. They're at the Detroit Red Wings tomorrow. Home versus Chicago, of course, on Tuesday. They've lost their last 2, going to be eager to get back on track. And they've covered the puck line and won the last 5 in Chicago. So strong trends to why backing the Tampa Bay Lightning has value. Trying to find the value in the betting line, though, is the struggle with this matchup. I want to look at the over 3.5 goals for the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's at minus 152. You guys know I can't hit on it. The puck line minus 1.5 is coming in at plus 100 or plus 104. I do think the puck line is worth a look here. I can see this being a 4-2 win for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So that doesn't push us over the total. Can we get the 5-2 win with Chicago for some reason allowing that last-minute goal by the Tampa Bay Lightning? Doing something crazy like pulling the goalie when there's no chance? Yeah, we could see that. So I don't love the total as much. The under 2.5 goals here for the Chicago Blackhawks, I do think is a solid way. That's coming in at minus 108 for Chicago to stay under the 2.5. But like I said, Bertuzzi has been rolling hot. He has been able to score a goal in the last couple of games out here for Chicago. You got Taylor Hall talking about he doesn't know his future with the Chicago Blackhawks, so he is stepping up on the nightly. Connor Bedard, you've got the playmakers, but can this young team put it together versus the Tampa Bay Lightning and Andre Vasilevsky? I just don't think so. Now, looking at those trends, like I said, they've won and covered the puck line the last 5 in Chicago here, the Tampa Bay Lightning. We've also seen the road team go 5-2 in the last 7 meetings, and the Lightning go 10-1 in the last 11 in Chicago. So it's got to be the Tampa Bay Lightning. I will take them on the puck line, laying a goal and a half at plus 104. And then I'm going to look at some player points here. Like I said at the start of talking about this game, Chicago takes too many penalties for my liking. They spend way too much time in the box, and versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, even though they got a strong kill, someone is going to convert. Who is going to convert on that power play? Braden Point, Jake Gunsel are the playmakers I want to go to. Braden Point for the power play point tonight, plus 170. Jake Gunsel for the power play point tonight is plus 150. No, plus 210. So plus 210 for Jake Gunsel for the power play point. Braden Point at plus 170. I love both of those guys. You can't parlay them. If you want to parlay them just for the straight up point, you're not getting as much value as I would like. Parlaying both of them for the straight up point was coming in at like minus 140-ish. They are both leading out there on the power play. They're on the second line together and on that first power play. So when you're looking to parlay players, always smart to look at line mates. And these two get a ton of time out there on the ice. Braden Point for the goal is plus 120. Jake Gunsel for the goals plus 150. So another way that you can look is looking at the goals. I like the power play points tonight, and I definitely have that circled. Last but not least, you guys, no Dobson tonight. Okay, I didn't see that. Great to know that Noah Dobson will not be in the lineup tonight. Looking at Stars and Jets, that's what the Stars and the Jets and the Lightning. What do you think? Stars, Jets, Lightning to get the win. You know, one of those are going to fall. I think it's probably the Stars fall to Vegas tonight, but I don't think the Jets fall. So let's get into that one. The Utah Hockey Club taking on the Winnipeg Jets. This one, the current lines on it are the Utah Hockey Club at plus 180, minus 220 here for the Winnipeg Jets. Total of 5.5, minus 115 to the over, minus 110 to the under. I do think this one probably stays under that total. My problem is the Winnipeg Jets could hit Connor Ingram really strong in this matchup, so I'm going to stay off the full game under, but it's more than likely to stay there. I would take Utah's team total. It's just so juicy, guys. The under 2.5 goals for the Utah Hockey Club coming in at minus 142. When we look at these two teams and where they are coming into these games, we've seen the Utah Hockey Club win their last 3. Their last game was last night. So this is the second night of a back-to-back. They came out and shut down the Minnesota Wild. I did not see that coming. Remember, I took Minnesota Wild on the money line and Kaprizov for the anytime goal to give us value. Utah was one of the bigger dogs on the slate, and they got the shutout win. Coming in here, facing the Winnipeg Jets on the second night of a back is a bad thing because the Winnipeg Jets at home so strong defensively with Connor Hellebuck in net. But even worse is the fact that it's a Winnipeg sudden revenge factor. On Monday in Utah, the Winnipeg Jets lost 5-2. So I'm looking for that revenge angle here out of the Winnipeg Jets. They're going to look to shut down the Utah Hockey Club. Can Utah win 2 in a row? Maybe, but we look here also at the last time they met in Winnipeg earlier this season. We saw Connor Hellebuck get the shutout win 3-0. I do think that is more so the way this game should go. I'm looking for a strong game out of Connor Hellebuck between the pipes. I'm looking for the Winnipeg Jets to be able to find the back of the net. They're off a win on Wednesday in overtime versus the Colorado Avalanche. They had to dig deep for that win. They've had a couple days rest. They're scoring on average 3.59 goals per game at home. And when we look at them here on that puck line in the first period, that's where I want to go. That sudden revenge I go coming out in that first period to get things done. So the Winnipeg Jets first period puck line laying a half a goals coming in at plus 130. Now, off of overtime, they have been able to win their last 11 games off of overtime. This has been a strong suit for them, and I do think it comes into play today. I would look at the Jets to win this 4-2 style game. That keeps us under the 2.5 goals for Utah. It does cover the full game puck line. I just want the first period. Now, Kyle Connor has been held off the scoreboard in the last 3 games. Kyle Connor is way too good to be held off that scoreboard. He's got 60 points in 49 games, you guys. I'll take Kyle Connor for the anytime goal. It's coming in at plus 120. Now, looking at who will get that assist, Mark Scheifele has been so strong on that line with Kyle Connor at feeding him those assists. 46% of Kyle Connor's goals come from an assist from Mark Scheifele. So I'll look at Mark Scheifele for his assist tonight. If you want to look at Mark Scheifele for the 2+ points, I think he gets multiple in this game. I can see a goal and an assist coming out of Mark Scheifele. He has been phenomenally strong versus Utah when they were Arizona. So you look at that, you've got to put that into your equation when you're looking at these teams, because Utah's first season, this was the Arizona Coyotes team. They just got moved to Utah. Mark Scheifele always showed up in those games. So when we look at him, 31 points in 29 games versus the Arizona Coyotes. So this was a player we always circled versus them when they were Arizona. Looking at him in these games, he's been able to, I think he got 2 points already in the 2 games. So I think he comes out. I think he can get 2 points in this matchup here versus the Utah Hockey Club. So Mark Scheifele for the assist, the 2+ points for Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor for goal, Kyle Connor for 2 goals. I think he probably gets 2 goals, 2 points. I think this is a big night for the Winnipeg Jets team who want revenge. So those are the plays today, you guys. We're just going to run through the recap here. Kelly, thank you so much. It feels like kind of a lazy Friday over here. So let's make some freaking money tonight, you guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you being here today. So quick recap, and then let's enjoy our Friday, you guys. Great weekend ahead of us with those divisional games. Make sure you head on over to the SportsGrid app for my Madden quickies, as well as check out Game Time Decisions for my Sports Millions pick'em. So looking at the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Dallas Stars, I do think Vegas has the ability to roll in to Dallas and get the win. I'm loving the value we're getting on a Vegas Golden Knights team, and I know the Dallas Stars have been strong at home, but I'll take a shot here on Vegas in what I think should be a really tight game. Now, if we do see the Dallas Stars go out first, I will be coming back in on the Vegas Golden Knights plus 1.5 on the puck line, but the same has to be said about Dallas. I think this is a one-goal game. However it ends, I'm going to take it to go to overtime, plus 300 go overtime. But if Vegas goes up 2-0, I'm going to take the Dallas Stars plus the 1.5 at the value we're getting at that point. So one-goal game, probably 3-2 win here for the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm looking at Jamie Benn to step up for the Stars. Jamie Benn at home has been like Nazem Kadri of the Calgary Flames. He's been able to convert. He's been held off the board the last 5 games. Look for Jamie Benn to come out with fire. Mark Stone, Jack Eichel will be my playmakers for the Vegas Golden Knights. The Philadelphia Flyers and the New York Islanders. The Flyers held to 1 goal last night. I think we also see Sorokin tall between the pipes. They can't get into this back and forth pond hockey with the Flyers. I'll take the first period under 1.5 goals at minus 118. The game under 5.5 is my favorite bet because we're getting it at plus 100. I do think this is a low scoring, 5 goals at the most, right? Like I don't see it hitting 6. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Chicago Blackhawks. I do think the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to convert on the power play. My favorite bets of this game is to look at Braden Point and Jake Guentzel for those power play points tonight. Now, when we look at them, Braden Point coming in at plus 170 for the power play point, Jake Guentzel at plus 150 for the power play point. If you just want to parlay them for the point, you're going to have to lay juice because they're pretty juicy alone. But you could look at them parlayed just for plain points coming in at minus 132. I'm not comfortable with that kind of juice. I do think the power play with how much time Chicago spends in the box is in play. Now, I will take the puck line for the full game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's coming in at plus 100. I do think this is a 4-2 win. Their team total 3.5 too juicy at minus 152. The under 2.5 goals, I do think is a nice way to look at Chicago at minus 108. Then the Utah Hockey Club and the Winnipeg Jets. Give me the under 2.5 goals here for the Utah Hockey Club. It's juicy at minus 142. Maybe a parlay piece for you guys. I like the Winnipeg Jets first period puck line for that sudden revenge. Laying a half a goal in the first period, my favorite bet at plus 130. Now, I do think another 4-2 style win. So if you want to lay the puck line for the full game, I don't blame you. Give me Kyle Connor for the anytime goal here. Give me Kyle Connor for 2+ points as well. For the Winnipeg Jets, he has been quiet as of late. Last 3 games held off the board. Mark Scheifele still strong at giving Kyle Connor those assists. He feeds him the puck 46% of the time. That Kyle Connor scores, Mark Scheifele gets that assist. So if you look at Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, parlay them together for the points tonight. Nice way to go as well. Again, it's juicy, so don't absolutely love it. I would look at the goal for Kyle Connor. I'd look at the points for Kyle Connor, and then Mark Scheifele. Look at the assist or look at 2+ points. I do think he has every ability to even get a goal himself tonight in this matchup, in this revenge factor. So you guys, I want to wish you all the best. Josh Morrissey, how can we deny Josh Morrissey for the point? He's been a moneymaker for us out there as well. If you add 2 goals each in regulation with OT, odds increase. Kelly, that is a nice way to look. Add 2 goals each regulation and OT. Okay, I like where you're going there as well. Thank you so much, Jamie. Appreciate your kind words. First period's over under. Yeah, absolutely. We looked at the first period. For the under in the Islanders and the Flyers game, I love that first period to go under 1.5 goals. And then I probably would look at the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Chicago Blackhawks over 1.5 goals in that first period. I do think we can start off fast in that game. So those would be my over-unders. The Utah Hockey Club and the Winnipeg Jets. That one probably stays under 1.5. My fear is Winnipeg comes out and scores 2 quick goals in that one. So that is where I'm going under first period. The New York Rangers. Yeah, that was a strong under. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll be back for another Puck It with Jo here on SportsGrid TV tomorrow. You don't have to wait till Monday. We do run the weekend shows as well. So make sure you join me. Loaded, great day out there on the ice tomorrow. So don't miss it, you guys. We're going to have a lot of fun. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you again for joining me here on Puck It with Jo. If you can hit that like, if you can hit that retweet button, and over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I would so appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow.